Good evening, beautiful people, and welcome to Unscripted with Melissa Santillan. I have one of the most amazing guests I can think of interviewing in the whole wide world. I have actually my producer from Icon Studio, Podcast Studios, Yash Musabji.
There you go. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on.
Hey, and I pronounced your last
name
right.
You said it perfectly, actually.
Because people butcher my name all the time. All the time. I get Santillan, Santiago, they're like Sant, they're like
Santillan.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you
that's
butchered.
Hilarious.
I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'm that kid with that name.
Yep, same.
Even my first name, and so it's my first name. I'm so used to people calling me Melissa. It's actually not pronounced that way. Did you know that?
No.
Melissa.
Melissa?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, with the little accent,
with
know?
A little accent,
yeah, okay.
Melissa. But, Melissa Santillan sounds, then like, wow, where did Melissa
Right.
But it is what it is. You know, we got special names.
Right. There you go.
It's all right. But I love being different. I love being ethnic.
That's what makes us great.
And so we are here today talking about the premiere for your movie coming up. So that is going to take place October 21st. And that is at the Nordlof.
Yes, it is.
There are still tickets for sale, correct?
There are 2 tiers of tickets. One is general admission, which is free for everyone, but you have to reserve your seats because we have limited seats. I can't just make more seats, you know? And this is like a one-time showing right now. So you have to reserve them. And then we have VIP seats, which have a little bit more to it. You get a poster, you get free drinks, you get invited to the after party, and you get to sit up closer in the nice seats. You know, you don't have to be on the sides.
Right. You get to be closer up front to everything.
Right.
More engaged with what's going on.
Right.
So, with that being said, because it is at a theater, like you said, there's limited seatings. Make sure that you get on. You'll see Yash's post. He has been posting that link for some weeks now. I want to say even a month.
Yeah, like a month and a half, 2 months now.
Yeah, and make sure you reserve those seats if you. And then the after party. Is it a private location?
So the location is yet to be determined.
Okay.
I'm just debating between a couple spots.
Okay.
But I wanted to not to be at a bar or somewhere everyone can come to. I wanted it to be a little more we're a bunch of cool people. We have an alcohol vendor. We have people, and we're just having a great time.
More exclusive.
Yeah,
I got you.
I got you. But if you got general admission and you want to come to the after party, once we figure out where it's going to be, we'll announce it at the party.
Right.
And you can come and just pay a small fee at the door, and you can come in. So we definitely want tons of people to come and enjoy it.
And then I noticed too, it's more of a suit, gown, right? Type of event.
It's codename black tie event, which doesn't mean you have to wear a black tie. I have to preface that, but it just means you have to dress up really nice and really fancy.
Dress to impress people.
Exactly.
There's, most people too, when they go out, it's fine. You go out in your tennis shoes and your jeans and stuff like that. This is not that event.
No.
Wear your best. I know I'm going to be showing out that night.
You always show out, first of all. I just have to say, look at you right now. Look at
yes.
So
in my favorite colors, of course.
Right. So I was I don't know. I grew up and I love the fanciness. I love that stuff, right?
Like the red carpet feel.
Yes.
That old Hollywood vibes.
And I wanted to bring that to Rockford.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring that the glamour, the Hollywood,
I love it.
The star stuff to Rockford, because frankly, I think a lot of us are stars.
Yeah.
And making this movie was not easy. So there are tons of great acting performances, tons of great scenes and directing stuff and whatnot. And it's just I don't know. I put a lot of work into it, and a lot of people that worked with me put a lot of great work into it. So I just want to make a great, grandiose, bougie event where everyone just feels good about themselves.
And the trailer was amazing. You gave us little clippets of what to expect, and I'm just whoa, he went all out. There was a little behind the scenes stuff that you had in there, and
it took half a decade to film. So
half a decade?
Yes, 5 years almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you started this as a journey. Was it when you first began filming?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I had the idea, I think around 2019, 2018.
When did you start filming so people get a good idea?
So I took 2018 to start doing the pre-work, right?
Right.
And then end of 2019, I started actually doing the shooting.
Okay.
The filming. Boom. After 2019, what came? COVID. So COVID kind of pushed back a lot, and but it gave us great opportunities to actually utilize really busy places that were completely empty. So
that's right.
We filmed at Lino's. Like the inside of Lino's, we literally had nobody was there, so we filled it up with 50 people. And shout out Lino's, they actually catered to us for free, let us film there for free, and just they just showed love and let us film this awesome piece of history there.
And it was shot in various places in Rockford. I saw that you had posted about that this was actually shot in Rockford. This was shot in some portions of Belvedere. There might have been a couple shots here and there in the Chicagoland area, but it was shot here at home.
Yes.
Yes.
So there's really two primary locations that weren't shot here, and that was in Las Vegas when I was there for the Grammys.
Okay.
And then in Wisconsin at Devil's Lake, which is the climax of the movie. Yes. I needed a little more mountainous terrain, right?
You needed some drama.
Yes. And but we filmed everywhere here. I mean, we filmed right by Minnihan's. We filmed we filmed at Sinnissippi. Filmed at Lino's. Filmed so many just
was it by the
locations.
BMO too?
Yes,
by the BMO. Yeah.
That parking garage right next to the BMO, that's where we filmed.
There's a lot of cool locations in Rockford. I mean, just looking around Rockford itself, there's a lot of buildings from the 1800s that have been renovated and reused. So
you can really make anything look cinematic. And honestly, I really do like downtown Rockford. Yeah. It's got this it's got this gritty vibe, and it's kind of like a Chicago without driving all the way out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The buildings are tall; they're not little. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty tall, and you can get some cool vertical effects, and drone footage looks great. And you just gotta gotta know what you're doing.
You gotta know how to shoot.
Exactly.
Yeah, I gotta know how to shoot. I know one of my favorite views. It obviously wasn't completed when you had started filming. Is the Embassy Suites. That is a cool location too. Yes. That is a cool ass location.
I wish I had the opportunity to put that in there, but
they were still in the middle of construction during that time, weren't they? They weren't even finished yet, I don't think. So they weren't letting anybody in there.
Right.
But just to know that all of your spots that you were filming, we walk past them, we get to see them in a movie now.
Yeah. And the goal is, I always say this movie was shot by Rockford, by Rockford people, at Rockford, for Rockford.
Oh, I love that.
So we really wanted to be I wanted people to be I'm in a movie. We shot a movie here. You know what I'm saying? I wanted people to be prideful of it, and that we're filming and we're producing some really great media art stuff. And I'm just trying my best. I'm just an immigrant kid trying my best to put out work. That's all.
But it's not just a movie.
It's not.
It's not. So tell us about.
So I say it's a movie, but I'm doing a bad job representing what it really is. It's actually a visual album. That's a term that I coined. I mean, I don't know if anyone else has coined it, but
that's what you call it, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
What that means is it's like listening to the movie, but with visuals. So it's music videos, narratives, things like that put together with my album as the driving force of the soundtrack. So that's really cool. I felt I don't know, it's like a hey guys, come listen to my album, but also visualize how I felt
at that time when you were writing the songs.
Yes.
So you're inviting us in your head a little bit.
Yes, which is a scary place. But I hope after watching this, you get to know me a little more.
Yeah, and I know some of the songs that you have on the soundtrack. I know when I watch movies, when they're very cinematic movies like you're explaining, there's the music in the background. Is it all your own music that you've
The songs where I'm singing on are all mine.
Yes.
But I also, what's it called? There are music libraries that I've like kind of deduced a couple of like tracks from, and I've meshed some of them. Okay. So I took some pre-existing ones. It's not like I know how to actually orchestrate like real orchestra and whatnot, but there are some really good hype, interesting like string quartets and things like that.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, because like when there's something suspenseful about to happen, you have to have the music that gets you, that takes you there.
I did all the sound engineering for that.
Yes,
so
I
really put not the mixing of it, but I did do all the sound engineering where I took the sound and I put it where I wanted it. Where there are times where I got rid of the sound, because it's like the sound is happening so much, and then when you get rid of it, it's like, now we're forced to sit here and quiet and watch. It's like, what's going on?
Or you don't know what's going to happen. You're like, oh.
Yes.
Because usually the music will make you feel a certain way, and then you kind of know what's going to happen. Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be good? Are you going to be surprised? And when you take that element away, now all of a sudden you're like, I don't know what to feel right now.
Right.
Oh, we're about to find out when it happens. I love that. I can't wait to see the movie.
Yeah, it's a 42-minute long visual album. It's not like a whole like hour and a half, 2 hours long type of thing. It's just 42 minutes, and I don't know, right? It's like 5 years to film 42 minutes. Crazy. But the craziest thing was, originally when I first came up with this, I thought it was going to take 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, 3 months.
So why did you think it would be? Well, because like you're used to doing videos for other people. You're used to doing all the editing, you get back to me in 2 days or less sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when you had it in your mind, 3 months, I can do this in 3 months. But, like you took it above and beyond. You had to do shots in Chicago. You were in Vegas.
Yep.
You couldn't have had those same elements if you wouldn't have planned that. Exactly. And sometimes that can't happen in 3 months.
It just grew. That's what happened. The idea started like this, and then the next thing you know, it's like huge.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I have this as a resource. Let me use this to make this movie even better now. And now that I got this and made the movie a little bit better, now that I'm better, let me go reshoot this other scene. Now that I got this new camera, like we got, I think one of these cameras, and I was like, let me go reshoot the scene at Devil's Lake. So we shot the scene at Devil's Lake like 4 different times.
Wow.
Yeah, it was exhausting. And I shout out my team because they definitely hated me for it. But
you had to get it right.
Yeah, everything you see in this, it's like, okay. And I could still work on it for another 5 years. But I was like, I got to be done. I got to be done with this. I can't take this away from me, please.
You were too close to the project. You had to step back.
I wanted to work on something else. I really wanted to just like put a bow on it and be like, all right, I'm done. I want to work on something else. I want to venture out. And to me, this project is whatever now. Like I've done it. It's cool. I can do even better now. But to the rest of Rockford, to the rest of everyone else that hasn't seen what I've actually truly done, they're going to be mind blown completely. They're like, I didn't even know you could do that. It's like, bro, I was able to do that 5 years ago.
So are we talking about like some special effects that you did in the movie?
So it's just lots of different camera movements, special effects. I did CGI work in my own movie because I hired someone to do CGI work for $1,000, and they did a super crappy job on it. And I was like, bro, give me the files. So they gave me the files, and I learned it in like 40 hours. Not like to the pro level, but I learned it enough to make it
better.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm going to make it acceptable.
Yes.
Exactly. And I made it. So there's going to be one scene that you're going to be like, oh, okay, like I just have to accept. Like I got to make that jump for him. But other than that, throughout the whole thing, you're going to be like, wow, this is a very interesting journey. And the journey is really like, the story kind of goes like this. There's a guy who's rushed to a hospital, right off the rip. It's intense. Like the hospital, we filmed at Rock Valley College. So it's like really good stuff in their OR operation tech rooms and whatnot. So really dramatic. He's rushed to a hospital. They put him in a coma. In that coma, he has flashbacks to his past trauma, PTSD, bad breakups, bad this and that, loss of people he loves. And from that, you find out like what deteriorated his mental state to the point where he's at now in the hospital.
So how did you pitch this idea to different businesses and schools? Like, hey, we're filming this. I have to know how you went there, because not everyone's as willing to give people a shot unless you have a great pitch.
For Rock Valley College, I was, I will say, when I was first starting out, I was just gung-ho ambitious. Like I still am, but I'm a little shy now that I'm like, I don't know. Before I was like, I've got nothing to lose. The worst thing they could say is no, right? So I went to Rock Valley College. I actually had my friend Nate, who was a student teacher at the video production side of Rock Valley College. He reached out to the dean of that department for me, and they're like, oh yeah, just have him come in and we'll just hook him up with the person that's actually running this and just ask a couple questions and you're good.
Wow. And, that wasn't that hard.
It wasn't. And closed mouths never get fed.
No, so, you have to ask for what you want, right?
Exactly.
Like, I know me and you have had that conversation many times. You really, like, unless you're vocal about things, you don't just speak up. You got to speak it into existence, make it happen.
Right.
You know, and not give up. Like you said, not be afraid of the no's. Like, yes, you're going to get a no maybe 20 or 30 times, but after that 20 or 30 times, you will get one yes.
Right. And like, I don't know, like I really love the Facebook community that I have.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of them, but there's a few people that are always like 20, 30 people that are always just commenting back when I need like advice, or if I'm like, hey guys, what's the best place to get my t-shirts printed? Or what's the best place? Who knows anyone that works at Lino's or this, that. And everyone's just commenting. It's like, they're really trying to help. Yeah. And that's what I really love. I love that community that I've built up.
Yeah, it's nice when you have a community that's willing to support your dream, like what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And even like just to share. It means so much. People don't realize how much that means because that's free. You don't have to like, okay, if you can't afford to, come to the event that I'm hosting and it costs this much, or purchase my merch or do things like that, you can like and share, and that means the world to me. So I appreciate the community that supports us creatives.
Absolutely.
And being a creative too, like you said, after this movie is done, the premiere is done, it sounds like you already have your head ready for something else.
I'm always like 10 years ahead, right?
Yes. But as a creative, yes. I can already tell like your wheels are turning.
Yep. So fun fact, this movie was called Prelude to Life for a reason.
Okay, why?
Because it was supposed to be the prelude to life. My original movie was called Life.
So it's already in the.
So this is what happened.
It's already on the board.
I wrote the script for Life, and I was like, this script is so good. It's so genius. This concept has never been done before. I'm not good enough for this yet. So I shelved it. And I was like, okay, let me write a prelude to Life, like a little mini script, and see if I'm even good enough to test my skills.
Yeah.
Warm up my skills for this. So I finished this 5 years later. Yeah. And now I'm like, okay, I got this. I still don't think I'm like there yet. I need more money. I need more budget. I need like, I don't know, good like $200,000-$300,000 for this one. That's just what I would like to put into it, because this is my life's work. Yeah. This is like, I'm not rushing this ever. So when people are like, oh, you're gonna spend 10 years on this, 5 years, yeah.
If I do, it's my work. That's
exactly. This is my Mona Lisa.
It's like when people buy their, what they call it, their forever house, and you fix it up and you turn it into exactly what you want it to be, right? Make all the rooms exactly how you vision them to be, right? Decorate it, do all of that. Exactly. So like that's what you're doing with your craft.
Yeah. So this is what I hope to be my classic, so yeah.
Is there going to be music along with it?
Of course, yeah. So everything is all music based now. So like, what I really want to do is make Life, Prelude to Life, Life Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and then make sequels or like branching off and make it like a Marvel Cinematic Universe. But
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. Because the whole concept is this: life. Everybody has a very complex life that we just don't know, right? Because I'm not watching from top down. I'm watching from one perspective. Yes. When you go home, I have no clue what happens.
Exactly.
I forget. It's almost like you just disappear, and then until I see you, you reappear. And likewise, so you don't know what goes on when I'm at home or when I'm doing stuff. So I really want to take the people and go from one person to another person and just see how people are. So let's just say in Prelude to Life, the bad person in there, the next movie you watch from mine, you might figure out why he was so bad and actually might be your favorite person then.
What led him to be the way that he is because of the things that happened in his life.
Exactly.
I got it.
Because we're not all villains. We're just all misunderstood.
Exactly that. You know, people might misunderstand you just from something that you said. They might misunderstand you from a piece of your craft that you know let out, the way that you post something. Something that they heard about you. So
Bro,
that
I
happens.
totally get that one.
Yeah. So I get that too. A lot of people, even from social media, I think when they meet you, sometimes they feel like they know you, but they only see what you allow them to see.
Right.
Like you said, because you don't know what I'm like outside of social media. You don't know what I'm like at home with my family. You don't know the component of my family. You don't know how I was brought up. The things that I've experienced, any of that. So to have something like that that's so deep, right? And it sounds like that's what life is going to be, something that deep where it lets you inside.
Absolutely.
And shows you every aspect of someone's life, right?
Exactly. Which is why it's called life.
Yeah. That I love that. One of my favorite movies is Life, but it's with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy. Have you seen that movie? You haven't seen that movie? So it's a comedy.
Okay.
But it's nothing like the movie that you're talking about. But some of my favorite scenes are from that movie. You have to watch it.
Interesting. All right, I will.
I recite a lot of movies when I'm at the barbershop. And that's one of my favorite. And a lot of them are maybe too inappropriate. I don't want to say some of the things that I saw in that movie. But yeah, they're some of my favorite comedians. Is there some comedy in your movie at all? Are there any?
Is there some comedy?
Is there any type of comedy, or is it just straight?
Honestly, so this movie is.
What would you consider it? Like
it's a tragedy.
Tragedy. Okay,
so
no comedy.
Yeah, there's no comedy. It's a journey through this guy suffering through a lot. That's what it is.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it sucks because I wrote this going through a very tough time in my life. And I just wanted to express that. And I was having no good stuff. But the ending is very open-ended. So it leaves you... it's up to you how you want to go about it type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Like how you're left off feeling?
Yeah.
So it kind of, like you said, like an open-ended question.
Exactly.
However you take it is how you take it.
Yeah.
And then you won't know what to expect until the next movie comes out. Right?
Right.
So like you said, this is a spin-off of that movie.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So this, like you said, because it's Prelude, so it's leading up to the movie that hasn't even been made.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm already seeing like what you're doing. You're literally getting us ready for that movie.
And the cool thing is this, like I'm a musical artist and a visual artist.
Yes.
I direct tons of projects. I produce tons of projects. I write tons of songs. I'm a singer. I'm a songwriter. I'm all that. And I also like clothes. I love designing clothes and merchandising and stuff like that. So I really wanted to take all these cool, multifaceted things that I love doing and just like combine it to make a cohesive, unique experience. So when you listen to the music, I did that. When you watch the visuals, I did that.
Yeah.
When you see the pacing of the movie, the editing of the movie, I did that.
Yes.
The light placement to where I place the light, I did that. The words that the characters are saying, I wrote those.
Yes.
So every single aspect of this visual album was written by me for you. You know what I'm saying? So I had the audience in mind throughout every thread of this fabric, and all the way from the fonts that we used on screen. Those are the fonts that we use on our t-shirts.
So are we gonna see some of your merch?
Yes.
Some
hopefully.
of your apparel. Yeah.
Yes. So we will most likely have some really nice exclusive T-shirts and crew necks available.
Will you be selling them?
Yes.
Because I need one.
Yes. Okay.
I definitely need one for sure.
We should be getting them printed next week in Chicago and then bringing them.
And then in the movie too, because I heard you say that there were other actors involved and extras. So how did you do like the call for extras? Was it something where you just asked people that you knew, or did you get on good old Facebook and be like, I need extras for my movie?
I did a bit of both. I did a bit of both. There were some scenes where I just needed to fill up rooms and just make it look like that, right? Yeah. So at Lino's, I had to fill up a room. Right. So I told everyone, guys, come to Lino's. I need y'all. And people showed up.
That's what's up.
There are other times where I just needed a couple people, and I just like, I have this person, and I think that this person would kill this character. So like, I'd love this. So let me reach out to them. They said no. So you never know. Like I ended up going to someone else, and they did an even better job than I thought.
Wow. Yeah. So that things don't happen by mistake.
Yeah.
Sometimes they it's and the design is always perfect. You just don't realize it until it happens. And then I noticed the female that was like your love interest in the movie.
There's a few.
There were a few. I only seen the one in the trailer.
Okay.
So I think I only saw one.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
So you had a few. So you went you went through, and so how did you cast the ladies for this?
So
were they friends of yours, or did you do like tryouts?
Most of them are all my friends. There's only one that I requested from my friend who kind of did like a modeling agency type of thing. But then she ended up being like one of my close friends.
Yeah.
So
after.
Yeah, afterwards. And she's like, after one shoot, she loved me. Now, like, she's literally my favorite model to take photos of. Yeah. Shout out Selena. So, she's awesome.
Is she from here?
Yeah, I think she's from here. She lives out in Beloit now, I think.
Nice.
But Selena. I don't know if I should say her last name, but yeah, she's awesome. Her work is amazing, and she's like, she just knows how to strike a pose, and I love it. She's actually in my last music video as well.
Yeah. It's nice when you work with models that actually know how to model.
So
because you literally, because I'm sure you've done this before, or you work with people before, and you're like, wow, she's got the look. She looks amazing, but doesn't know how to model. And then you're just like, it looks awkward, or you're not making the right face for this. You're not feeling the emotion of the picture that I need. So I've had instances like that too, where I'm like, I have to get in there and show them, like, I need you to make this face. I need you to feel this way.
Right.
I need you to lift your hip a little higher.
Yeah.
Like,
the more uncomfortable you feel, the better you are.
Yeah. Suck it in and stick it out. You know, like, you always have to do that with girls.
Absolutely.
Like, and they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm telling you, it's going to look great in the picture.
Trust.
And she's like, but it feels like I'm so like a show pony.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, it's okay. It's going to look amazing. I promise you.
Yes.
You're going to look snatched. You're going to look tall.
Absolutely.
And then certain things that girls wear make them look better. So, different things accentuate different body types.
Absolutely.
So you have to know all of that. You do photography as well. So sometimes, you have to, you don't always want to take over and be like, lift that up a little higher or move the
Yeah. There's
you want the
ways.
shot.
There's ways to do it. There's like, hey, do you think it'd look better if we did it this way?
Like, kind of like, well, make it like it's your idea.
Exactly. That's how you win. That's a gem for y'all fellas. That's how you win.
You didn't know we were dropping gems tonight. Yeah, I've had my experience working with me modeling myself too, having to work with other photographers and shooting video. Like, you've done barber video with me before too. So that's how we actually met.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how we actually met. Yash actually shot a barber video for me and Tony Alfaro. Yeah, homie from the barbershop Wolves Den. Had to give him
which I just recently visited, which was really cool.
Yeah, I was so happy to have you in there because we definitely had to put up a poster.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a whole vibe. Like, you don't realize it looks like that until you walk down there, and then you're just like, whoa, this looks like a whole different space, you know? a lot like this building too. I mean, the building outside is cool, but when you come inside the studio, you're like, wow, this is a whole different space compared to every other room in here. So I appreciate what you've done with the studio.
I appreciate that.
It looks amazing. And will there be in your movie, because it sounds like you put a lot of your own craft, your passion for what you do with music, movie, right? All of that inside of your movie. Will there be any segment about you having a studio?
No, because
it's not in the movie.
Here's the thing. Yeah. I finished filming the movie like 2 years ago.
Right. So it was before the studio.
Yeah, right? It was way before the studio. Like I this wasn't even like a thought. This wasn't, so.
What about for the new movie, Life, that you might work on? That wasn't in there because you already wrote it.
I guess we won't know until
we won't know until it happens.
Yeah, yeah. Like what with Life, I really want like a famous what's it called when a famous cameo.
Oh,
I want something
you
like
want
that.
Like a guest appearance.
Yes, I want like a Snoop Dogg, or I want something like crazy. Like,
wow.
like I want to go all out and like make people be like, what the heck? Like, cause you know me, like I'm a very like, I got to jaw drop everybody every time, everything I do.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like my videos, every time you watch them, you will never know what's coming next. Cause it's like, boom, the crazy effects. Boom, cinematic. What? Where did he shoot this? How did he shoot this? Like people literally message me, like other videographers are like, how did you edit this? What? What effects did you use? How is this even possible? And I'm just like, I actually sometimes I'll give away my sauce, but it's
Honestly, you should probably start having classes for this.
So that was another thing I want to eventually,
which is not a bad idea.
I'm working on a video production course.
Yes.
So online course, like a video class type of thing. I just need more free time to record it. I have a script all written out.
Well, you're a busy man, just like I'm a busy lady, and I'm sure you don't have a lot of free time.
I don't. I just once this premiere is done, I think that'll be a next year type of project, because I don't want to rush it. I want to take 6 months to do it, because if someone's going to spend lots of money for my course, I want to make sure. Yeah, that's just how I am. I'm not the pay $10 and know a little thing. My thing is, hey, here's $1,000. Here's everything I know, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't BS me type of thing.
Yeah. Like I'm sharing with you what I've learned from experience. I'm sharing with you how I do X, Y, and Z, and here you go. Everything
I do is quality. That's what the Icon brand is for. That's why it's Icon, because anything, we are forced to deliver Icon standards.
Yes.
Right? We just can't accept subpar stuff or deliver subpar stuff. So
I'm with that.
Our clothing, best stuff. Our visuals, best stuff. Our courses will be the best stuff. That's just how it is.
And I know you and I are a lot alike, where if I don't feel like it's at that standard, I'll let it go for a while until it is. Like I'll back burner it and just be like, I'm going to come back to this when I can make that happen. Right now is not the time, but when I can, it'll be right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the first one to do it.
No.
You just have to be the best one to do it.
I love that so much, because there's so many people that do what you do what I do, right? Career-wise. But can they do it like you? Absolutely not, because you're original.
Right.
You're not a copy.
Exactly.
Yes. So I love that about you, because I've always had quality experience, like A1 experience with you every single time.
We just try. That's just who I am. I really try and strive to be a quality person.
Quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
Any day.
Yeah.
Any day. I'd rather have, the quality of work and work with a smaller circle of people so that it's right. You know what I mean? I always feel like, too, like when your circle's a little bit smaller, you have less to worry about.
Exactly. Less drama.
Yes, it is. It definitely is.
For this premiere, what are you the most excited about?
What am I the most excited? I actually am excited to hear the music.
Okay.
So just because I recently learned that it was more of a release for your music as well. Right. So I'm excited to hear that. I'm excited to see your acting skills.
Okay. Yeah.
I've seen a little here and there. You're quite a character just by yourself in real life. So I'm excited to see you on the big screen.
It's I will say the acting is it's unique because I play myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
In a time that not many people knew me. So the person you probably know me as now, it's going to be very
You hadn't
different.
become him yet.
Yeah.
Right? You hadn't become him yet.
And the crazy thing is the stress of acting while, like, so imagine we're acting right now. While thinking the cameras are rolling, while slowly looking over to make sure they're at the right angle by a camera operator who's never held a camera before because they don't know.
So you were directing a new crew.
Yep.
To film the movie for you, but you were trying to act like you were behind the camera, but in front of the camera.
Yes. It's so difficult. It was so painful, but that's what you got to do.
You got to trust the process, though. Yeah. And then you have to trust the people like, hey, I believed in him or her that they could do this. Mm-hmm. And so I'm leaving my faith in them, and I'm just going to give them direction, and we're going to pray for the best.
I mean, it's most people that help film this don't even film. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of like they were like, oh, we rock with you, Yash, so we're just going to help you out. So I'm not going to like be mean to them and be like, you don't know how to film and this and that. I'm going to do the best. But I will say, like, my acting, like, I would have been able to focus more on the acting if I didn't have to focus more on like the
everything else.
Yeah. So I think my acting is the least favorite part about myself for the movie.
Okay.
But I still think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, because like now I see you're really working with your team so that you trust them to film, because they film with me when you're out of town. Mm-hmm. And I trust them fully. You know what I mean? When they work with me and work with my guests. I feel like this second go around for the next movie is going to go even better because you've already kind of, what's the word for it? You've helped kind of coach them what your expectations are, how you like things shot, angles, right? You've gone over all of these things with them.
Right.
So now it's going to be maybe a smoother transition where you can focus more on your acting. Right?
I'm training the next generation. That's what I'm thinking.
And you have to do that. You have to pass the torch. I believe in passing the torch. You have to share the information that you know with somebody or with people who are willing students. I did it for years as an educator, and I feel like I still am doing that. Even if I'm not at a school, I'm still doing it with my children. I'm still doing it at the barber shop. I'm still doing it when I make my little reels on Facebook and Instagram. You know what I mean? Because you're sharing a part of yourself. You're showing people how to, this is how I do this. This is how I finish that. So it's important for us to guide the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And will your mom be there at the premiere?
Yes.
So I get to meet mom?
Yeah, my mom and my dad, my uncle and my aunt. Yes, they're all going to be there.
So your family
and my sister
and your sister.
Yeah.
So we get to meet your family finally. Because I hear you talk about them, but I've never met them. You got to meet my mom at the 815 Showdown, and my mom was just smitten by Yash. I remember.
She was spitting game, man.
She was spitting game, and she started rubbing on his. I'm like, Mom, stop. You were all suited up that day, though. Remember? Because you were doing shots over there too, and yeah, my mom's something else. She's special.
She was cool.
Yeah.
She was cool.
Mom, love you. But stop rubbing on Yash's beard.
We love you, Mom. You can come rub on this beard anytime.
It was hilarious. I remember I go home and I was telling him, I'm like, oh my God, you should have seen my mom.
That was really funny.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Is Moy coming?
I'm sure he will.
Okay.
So I still got to get our tickets so that we can go.
Okay.
Yeah. He has dressed up in the past, and I'm going to let him know the dress code.
Okay.
I'm going to be like, come on, you're going to have to do it again. He did it for my family's event that we had a few weeks ago. I know you've seen, I posted some pictures of us, and he didn't even look the same. He took the hat off, took the shirt off, looked like a different man. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try to convince him that you have to come. Right. You have to. You're expected to be there.
Right, absolutely. Well, without Moy, this wouldn't be here. So he has to, man. He has to. It'll be so cool.
Yeah, he's a real behind the scenes kind of guy.
Speaking of behind the scenes, it's funny you just said that. You just read my mind. So there's a special segment that we're going to be doing there.
Really?
So fun fact, we filmed behind the scenes for the last 5 years.
Wow, I can't wait to see that. I love
we
watching
have over like hundreds of hours of footage that I combed through and compressed it down into like 1 hour of just key footage that I thought was funny, goofy, doesn't give away too much, but like, you know, great stuff. There's still way more that I'll eventually put out down the road. But while the cocktail hour is going, while everyone's mingling, talking, we're going to be playing that in the background. So people can go into the theater area, watch it a little bit, walk around, mingle, ask questions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
before the film actually starts. Okay.
We're also bringing the pod there.
Really?
Yes, I know. Mind blown.
Wow. Okay.
So we're going to bring some of the chairs, bring some of the mics, and just have like a corner set up where people can just sit down for a brief moment, interview with someone that's going to be acting as the host for the evening, and just interview people for us on my behalf.
Who's your host?
I believe it will be Anthony Ramirez.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him. Not that Anthony Ramirez. Okay. I know, it's crazy. I have two of the same Anthony Ramirez's. Yeah. This is a young cat. He's a realtor. He has another podcast, and he kind of came up with the idea.
Nice.
And I was like,
friends are coming through. They're like, we should do this. Make this happen.
Exactly. So I was like, yeah, absolutely, man, for sure.
I'll sit down with them for sure.
Yeah.
Do a little.
So we have tons of cool stuff. I bought Polaroid so everyone can like take a photo with the Polaroid.
Love the Polaroid.
And I want to make it where it's like they can like put it like up as a collage type of thing, you know? So we can like have it as like a memorial type of thing. We're going to have a bartender there. We're going to have so much stuff. We're going to have merchandise for sale.
You know how some events will have like a special drink?
Yes. So I'm trying to figure that out.
Are you?
I'm trying to get like a peacock punch or something like crazy. Like, I don't know.
Oh, because of the logo, right?
Yeah.
Like I've been, you know how when you go to like parties or premieres, things like that, they always have like a cute, like you said, like a cute name for the drink. So what would the liqueur be? Because it has to be the liqueur that you like.
No choice. Tequila, man.
Tequila all the way.
Oh,
man.
And the good stuff, too. Yeah. Like, ain't none of the railed stuff. The good stuff, you know?
What do you drink on? Herradura?
What?
Do you like Herradura?
I don't know what that is.
You never... The one that has the horseshoe on it.
I don't know
You never had that one? What about Clase Azul? The one that you ring the bell?
I haven't had that one because I heard it was overhyped.
Well, it depends what bottle. Do you know there's not just one?
Yeah. I know.
So there's the blue and white one, which is the one that most people know about.
Yes.
But there's specialty bottles with different types of tequila.
Oh, like reposado and stuff like that? Okay. I'm a big reposado guy. I love reposado. Like all kinds of reposado. Yeah. They're my favorite.
But some of them bottles are like...
Yeah.
The price is like,
woo. Like a couple thousand. I was like, my budget ain't for that today.
Yeah. I'm like, woo. I had the liberty of trying a few of them because to me too, I'm not a huge tequila drinker. I will drink it here and there, but I'm not a huge tequila drinker. But, you know, I knew the standard Clase Azul, the blue and white bottle. And I'm like, it's okay. Yeah. You know, like I was like, it's okay. Until I tried the black and gold bottle. And then I was like, what is this? And they were like, that's a $4,000 bottle. I'm like, whoa. It was 4,000 something. I was like, what? And I'm looking at the shot like, how much is this shot? And they're like, that's like a $200 shot.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
A $200 shot? What?
That's my whole paycheck for today.
I'm going to sip this and savor it. I'm literally going to sip it and savor it. But it tasted way different. Like you could tell they aged it in something.
Sure.
Yeah, they aged it in something and it was really, really good. So
so you're not a tequila person. So what are you?
I like my dark liquor. My drink of choice would probably be like Crown Apple.
Okay, I like Crown Apple.
I like Crown Apple.
I was afraid you were going to say Henny, and I was like, bro, no.
No, I'm not a Henny girl.
Okay.
I'm not one of those anything is possible tonight. No, I'm not. I can't do it, bro.
Anything is possible.
Anything ain't possible tonight. I'm like, no.
Crown Apple and cranberry?
I do Crown Apple. Crown Apple and cranberry, and then I'll do a splash of Sprite.
Oh.
Yeah, just like a splash, just to lighten it up a little bit.
Okay. Or Crown Peach and lemonade, fire.
I haven't tried that. So I have tried the Crown Peach, but I didn't try it with lemonade. I want to say I tried, the only thing we had to try it with was like Sprite or something like that. But I definitely would like to try that. I bet you that tastes like heaven.
Yeah, it was mighty fruity. I like it.
Yeah, I like fruity drinks. Yep. I don't like the sting of a tequila. If I do any type of drink, I like palomas.
Okay.
So that's my jam. Tequila, squirt.
I'm a whore for sangrias.
Are you?
Bro, I swear to God.
With the fruit, that's all.
Fruit. Ooh,
that's my stuff. That's all. They get all liquored up. You gotta let them sit in there, and then. Yep.
I'm just munching on them.
I'll pull it straight out the glass. I don't care who's watching.
Yep.
Yeah, I love me some sangria too.
Oh yeah.
But. I'm like, I'll take the strawberries out, the blueberries, all that stuff, and just eat it up. So what type of tequila do you enjoy drinking? What's your fave?
I don't know. I don't discriminate when it comes to my tequila.
So are you a Patron or a Don Julio?
Don Julio. I can't stand Patron. That's the one time
good
I will.
For you.
Yeah,
I was like, good for you.
Patron tastes like rubber to me. I don't know what it is.
I can't do Patron either.
Yeah,
it has to be Don Julio or I can't do it.
Yeah, no, same. And I mean, my Don Julio phase is kind of going out too. I don't know. I'm not really like.
But if I had to choose between those two,
1000%.
Yeah,
I do like the Casamigos. Like it's sweet. Is good. Yeah. I know it's not like it's not true traditional tequila as everyone says,
but it's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad.
Cazadores is decent.
Cazadores is good. That's definitely straight from the motherland.
Yeah. See, you really can't go wrong with Cazadores.
So is that Herradura. You know what? I might have to buy you a bottle for your premiere so you can try it.
You gonna get me fucked up before we play the movie.
Who cares? It's your party. You can do what you want to.
That'll be fun. That'll be cool.
But we do want to save you for the after party. We need to last
are getting lit at the after party for sure.
Yeah, we definitely are.
I'm gonna be giving speeches and whatnot too. So I'm gonna be like,
we're gonna be like, give Yash the mic again. No, he's not done.
I'm gonna be like Kanye when he interrupted Taylor Swift. He had that Henny bottle and everything. I'm gonna have that tequila bottle.
You're gonna be like, Beyonce was the best performer of all time. No, right?
It's funny we said that because Kanye is a huge inspiration for this whole project.
Was he a big
huge?
Yeah.
One of my favorite projects by him was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yes.
And he made a film called Runaway. And
I've never seen it.
You should look at it. You should watch it, and it'll give you an idea of what I'm trying to go for with my film. Okay. And you really should watch it. It's like 30 minutes long.
Okay.
It's a little weird. Mine is more like narrative based. His is more conceptual weirdness.
Yeah.
But
it's Kanye.
I know.
Yeah, that's who he is.
So he did this, and he made like a movie / music video type of thing and whatnot, and it was cool. And there's lots of times where I pay homage to him. Like similar outfits that he wears in the film, similar color schemes.
Yes.
If you look at the poster and then watch the poster for that film, you'll see where I got the inspiration from.
But Kanye is such an influential person in our time.
For sure.
Now. Like he literally paved the way for a lot of these people coming up now. Mm-hmm. They can call him crazy if they want.
Sure.
Everybody that they called crazy back in the day usually were some type of genius. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They call them crazy because you know why? They were misunderstood. Back to how we started the conversation. Yep. People misunderstand you, and because they don't understand, they automatically label you crazy. Mm-hmm. I've been labeled as crazy before.
1,000 times.
So what?
When I told my parents I want to go into film production and I want to be a rapper.
Did they tell you that you were crazy?
They said... they first of all, there's not a word for rapper in Gujarati. So I told them I want to be a singer. Yeah. And then they were like, you're an idiot. Like literally. I mean, I've got brown parents. They're not very the biggest supportive people when it comes to things. Like they want me to be a doctor or a lawyer.
Yeah,
or
they
whatever.
want you to be there's these 3 things that you should be.
Yes.
Pick one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it did help because my grandpa was a photographer growing up, and he was a professional photographer. Like he was a professional photographer, painter. He was the first one in our village and everything, like all that stuff.
So he was the artist that kicked it off in your family.
Yeah. And he never took off in America because of his English barrier. So, and for a long time, no one took that tradition of photography and artistry. So he really thought like it was just gone. And then one day it just like they say, there's a saying in Gujarati where it's like a ghost came over me and just like took over my body.
You got possessed.
I got possessed by the photography people. And he thinks that I've already surpassed what he could have ever done. And because of my ability to speak languages and network with people and things like that, that I will be on another like level. Like I will reach the stardom that he never did.
So you said languages. I know you know your native language, English.
Yeah.
What other languages do you know?
No, my native language is Gujarati and English.
Okay.
I know Hindi. I can somewhat understand Spanish. I can somewhat understand Urdu and Punjabi.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. The bilingual Yash. That.
Yeah. The trilingual, I guess.
Trilingual.
So I can speak Hindi, Gujarati, and English.
Yes.
I can understand like 7 others.
Yeah. But understanding, but not really being able to.
Yeah, because it's like if I don't,
I understand and I can make sense of it. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
It'd be different.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. If you don't like speak it all the time, it's your muscles don't like get used to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you just are always hearing it, it's one thing. But then if you can't like
using it,
like some kids can understand Spanish probably, but because they don't speak Spanish back, they like, you know what I'm saying?
They understand, but they will respond in English. Exactly. I honestly prefer, like I can respond in Spanish, but I really have to think about it. I prefer to respond in English.
You're one of those.
I am one of those.
Okay. I refuse. I want to make my children grow up with both.
Good for you.
Yeah, I don't have any children, but
not yet.
Yeah. I want to. I don't know. I just think it's cool, and I think it's like such a cool thing to have. And it's like anytime you're in a predicament and you just can't speak English, and I mean, and Gujarati is one of those things where it's like not a lot of people in Rockford know how to speak it, so it's like we could just talk like that. Like, no one will know. So. Yeah.
Because now we used to be able to do that, like in Spanish, you could say a few things, and not everybody, but everybody speaks Spanish now.
Yeah.
So you can't anymore. Exactly. Even the most unlikely people, you turn around and they'll start talking. You're like, they speak Spanish better than I do, and I'm Latina. I'm like, so I realize that sometimes, and I'm just like, I wish I would have learned Spanish as a child, because I did not start learning Spanish and more Spanish until I was a young adult, when I saw the necessity to, be bilingual.
Gotcha.
So it's important, especially for kids to pass down. And now I have my kids, they might understand a few words here and there, so I need to practice what I preach. But I'll work on it.
There you go.
I'll work on it. That's all I can do is work on it. To know that your grandfather, though, kind of passed this creativity to you, though, that's just like amazing. And I bet you he's just so proud of you.
Yeah.
To see you, like you said, you surpassed what he's done, and for him to say, wow, he picked up this torch and he ran with it and never stopped.
Yeah. And
you just keep going and going and going. And do your parents feel differently about it now that they see what you're actually doing? Or do they still feel like you should have been a doctor?
They definitely are way more supportive now.
Yeah, than they were.
It's I think the one part that like really snapped in them was when I was in the paper. That kind of like when they went to the gas station, bought the paper, and like saw my face, they were like, what the heck? Like they were like, it was almost like a realization. Like, oh, he's not just like some kid doing this in the basement for fun.
They're like, he's actually being recognized by the newspaper now.
And I think that snapped. And then seeing me fly around all over the U.S. and
you get paid to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is actually work for me. Yeah.
So I think after that, and I think my dad is the most excited for this.
Good.
Yeah. He's like, he loves bragging about me. I'm just like, Dad, can you just shut up, please? Like, it's fine. Like, he's like, he's like, that's my son. Like, that's how he
good.
is.
That's how parents should be. They should be cheering in your corner.
Yeah.
I just lost my train of thought right now.
That's cool.
When your parents are proud of you, though, for something that they first weren't exactly all for. Because I know when I had the same thing happen with my career too. They're like, that's a hobby. That's not a career, right? They looked at it like it's a hobby. It's not a hobby. This is what I'm going to do for a living. And then did your parents enjoy, because recently you were on Inspiring 815.
Yeah. It's crazy. So my parents, I tell them about stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't really know like the American culture like that. Like, so they don't really watch the news or whatnot.
Oh.
So they were oblivious. And I tell them, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be on the news, guys. This and that. Like, yeah, well, okay, like, whatever. Yeah. Like, sure. Like, we don't watch it, so we don't care. But then one of their coworkers saw it from work. And like, Yazzie, that's your son. That's your son. And they sent him the link.
Huh?
Yeah.
He's like, huh?
And then after he saw that, he's like, he's sharing it to everybody and whatnot. And like,
you're like, I tried to tell you and you weren't excited. But when somebody from work tells you.
That's just how it goes, right? Like, I don't know. But they sent it to like tons of people in India, and our village was really proud and all that stuff. So it was really cool.
I'm so happy they did that segment on you. You definitely deserved it, because you are making such an impact here in our art community, especially. And the art community needs this. We are creating platforms here for inspiring people. You're inspiring. I'm trying to inspire people. And just us doing the interviews, because you have your own podcast as well. Yeah. And you know, just sharing these stories with the rest of the community, because some people don't realize the type of talent that is actually in our area. And I hate to even say Rockford, because I like to say the area.
Right.
So, and even we branch out further than that. We're not just in Rockford, because eventually it can't just be the community people that we're interviewing. Like when I got here today, you were interviewing somebody that was from a different state.
Yeah, from North Carolina.
Yeah, and to me, that I want to do that also. Not just like, I love spotlighting the people that are doing things in our community, but we need to spotlight and make this bigger. Bigger,
absolutely.
Always bigger.
That's always the goal, is to just take something and just make it better than how you found it.
Yeah, and I never think that I'm dreaming too big. There's never a dream that's too big. If it's in my mind and it came to me and it keeps calling me, then I need to make it happen. And I know sometimes too, I give you random texts, late at night, or
oh yeah,
hey, I have an idea. But I know half the time you're not sleeping, just like I'm not sleeping. So I'm quite the insomniac. I get ideas in the middle of the night. I'll just wake up and all of a sudden, and I have a notebook on my nightstand, because I don't want to forget what I was thinking or what I was dreaming about. Because sometimes I have dreams about stuff I want to work on. Mm-hmm. Does that ever happen to you?
Oh, so much. So many times. There's so many times I wake up and I just start sketching my design book, or sometimes I'll just start writing like lyrics, or I'll be looking up YouTube videos on how to like the new cameras or new editing styles and whatnot. So there's just so much.
There's so much that you can do in the middle of the night when you have your thoughts to yourself. That's what I think. Because I feel like during the day, we have so much going on, and we're in 100 different places at once. You know what I mean by that.
That's why creatives love the nighttime. Nighttime,
I can get so much done. So from 1 o'clock to 5 a.m., sometimes I'm not asleep because I'm working.
Yeah.
You probably do the same thing, don't you? Guilty.
Yeah. Guilty.
Yes. But I love being a creative. I love just doing things in this community. I love being a part of the art community. I wouldn't change it for the world. And I'm so happy to see you breaking down barriers too here.
Absolutely. I know the big next step for me is to make a transition out to Chicago.
Yes.
And start bridging a gap between Rockford and Chicago.
Yes.
And build a hub out there, build a studio out there, make a name out there as well. Mm-hmm. But also use the resources that I've built in Rockford to bring some of the big stuff back here, or bring people out to Chicago. So that's the next goal for me, I think.
They're literally a hop, skip, and a jump away. You
Seriously.
Know what I mean?
And with the train that's going to be coming in here in 4 years.
The new metro is going to be here. What did Maurice say? He said it would be done in how many years?
4, I think.
4 years? Yeah. 4 years is
nothing.
Yeah. It's going to be here as soon as you know it.
But even then, an hour 20 drive, that's really nothing.
Listen to a couple jams. Listen to a new
I've done that drive like 6 times a week. It's
I know you do. You're back and forth. You're back and forth from the airport all the time.
So much.
Every time I message you, I'm getting ready to get on a plane. I'll call you when I land.
I know. It's a struggle.
It's all right. You got to live that life now while you don't have any kids.
Yeah.
Even when you do have kids, you'll figure it out. But, it's just easier to do it when you don't.
Yeah, I'm taking advantage of it however much I can.
Do as much as you can right now. You got that youth behind you.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you start feeling old again. And then I have to remind everybody, how old are you, Yash?
I'm getting up there now. I just turned 26 last month.
26?
Yeah.
You're still a youngin'.
Yeah. My back.
Yeah. I need to go see a chiropractor soon.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to believe like you're like a year older than my son.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I could be your mama. I
It's definitely surreal. Like, I didn't think I would be here when I was 26. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I have dreams and expectations for myself and timelines that I want to achieve. Some are reasonable, some are impossible. But like, I don't know. I there's a balance between letting things happen and working your butt off to make things happen, right?
Nothing's impossible. Just the word itself.
Right.
I'm possible.
There you go. Oh,
yes. So remember that.
Writing that down.
Yeah. I heard that from someone else, by the way. I don't remember who, but I remember I heard that from someone else. And I'm like, I like that. I'm going to use that. And I got to use it today.
There you go.
Yeah. So
it's just, I said, by the time I'm 25, I want to be on the Grammys,
Yeah.
I went to the Grammys. I wasn't on nominated for one. So it's I came to the realization I can't put a time limit on certain things,
No.
So
because you want it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You want it right, and you want to make sure that it happens when it's supposed to. It needs to happen organically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't be in a rush to grow up. Don't be in a rush to grow up.
No, I won't.
You still have plenty of time. And for all of the accomplishments that you have had in your 26 years of life, it's a big deal.
Right.
It's a big deal. That. And I have to give you the...
Well, thank you.
You have to. You deserve it.
That.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is this, I always remind myself, I really started only 5 years ago, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, wow. Yeah.
In that 5 years.
Plus going through COVID. So that's kind of technically it's only been 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, because COVID definitely put a damper on everybody's parade.
So anytime I feel like, oh man, I've been doing this for so long and I'm still not, where I want to be, I have to remind myself, bro, we've been through a lot. Relax.
You've been through a lot in the short amount of time that you've been doing it, but you've made such an impact. So keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate that.
Keep creating. Keep being you. Don't ever change.
Thank you.
Be 100% authentic because that's what you are.
I'll be an icon.
And I love you so much. You are an icon. Yes.
Thank you. Likewise.
But I want to wrap up. We're about hitting our hour mark now. And thank you that we actually got to do this interview today.
Right.
I appreciate you and I love you to pieces and I cannot wait to see the premiere.
Likewise.
Okay, so don't forget, order them tickets. I want to say they're 70% sold, 75% sold out now. So if you need even the general admission tickets, you still have to reserve your seat.
Yes.
Then VIPs, I'm sure they're almost gone, if not halfway gone. You need to make sure that you get those too. And remember, you will find out about the after party, but you have to be there to find out about it.
Exactly.
Okay. So I want to thank Icon Studio Podcast Studios. Of course, our main sponsor here for Unscripted, Elisa Sparkling Gems. I don't have my cups out today, but we know she's one of my main sponsors for this. And I just want to thank everybody for joining us, and you all have a great night.